Con has now officially begun because we have a legend. We brought you a legend for Tennis Con 4, Gigi Fernandez. You know, she's watching football today. She's playing softball, and now she's at Tennis Con 4. Tell us about your amazing day. It sounds like it was a really cool day.
Well, it was a long day. It started in Jacksonville. My daughter was playing in a soccer event. So it ended at 11, and then drove from Jacksonville to Tampa via Orlando. Had lunch in Orlando. Then I got here, watched the Bucks game. Then I had a softball game that I wasn't going to play because I wanted to not be late for this. But our team needed 4 girls, and I was the 4th. So if I didn't show up, we were going to start with 2 outs in every inning. And the competitor in me couldn't have that. So I just played for 3 innings, and then here I am.
Nice. Okay.
So that's why I have a hat on. Otherwise, I'd have my hair done.
That's awesome. Now, did you get to bat? Did you get it?
Yeah, but I just got one at bat. They put me last in the lineup because they knew I was leaving. So, because whenever I come up to bat again, then they're going to start with 2 outs.
Okay, but did you get on base?
I didn't, no.
Oh my God, no way.
I hadn't played in 20 years, and I swung at the first one. But I played first base, and I got, every ball that came to me, I caught.
You caught the ball. You had the ball. That's the volley technique.
I got the hands, yeah. I still got the hands.
You already got 53 people on right away. That's really exciting.
Good.
Okay, Gigi. Now, what I usually do tonight, guys, Gigi's going to talk about how to play big for your doubles partner. I got a lot of cool questions for her. But one thing I do, I go live a lot with Maribon, who's just a cool guy, I think, super nice guy. And we play music trivia, but he doesn't seem to know anything about music at all unless it's rap, according to him.
I'm not going to know anything.
If you don't know this, I'm going to be shocked. Okay, are you ready? Just let me know when you know
Mark Anthony.
Or if you don't. Or should I play Mark Anthony? This is a classic.
Okay. Every breath you take.
Okay, good. All right. my faith is renewed. And yeah, Every Breath You Take, The Police, classic.
I couldn't name The Police, but I did. The song came to me. So
what did you listen to growing up? Were you just all in the tennis and listening?
Puerto Rico, don't forget. Like, okay. I was 18. So a lot of Menudo, remember them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I don't know.
What about Gloria Stefan? Did you like her?
She was already, I was already here when she was big.
Okay.
It was kind of a little bit before that. Nobody you would know, because unless you're Puerto Rican, you wouldn't know. Celia Cruz, I don't know. Salsa.
Okay. Are you a good dancer?
No, I'm horrible. I'm like the only Puerto Rican who can't dance. Okay. Literally.
It's all about tennis with Gigi. Tennis and sports. She's it.
Yeah,
now the Bucks won.
They killed the Green Bay Packers. Sorry, Packer fans. We played good. We were down. Okay, so the first quarter, we had the ball for 45 seconds, and we're down 10-0 after the first quarter. And then we scored 31 points, and they never scored again. So it was fun.
That Brady is amazing. Well, we got a lot of people on, and I know they want us to get to some stuff, but we got Ringo saying maybe Gigi can speak briefly about racket strings and tension. We're probably not going to do that tonight, my friend.
Ringo.
And then we got Betty from Vancouver.
Hi, Betty. I know Betty.
Do you?
Betty. Oh, someday you're going to get to a clinic. I know it.
Sharon and Scott are here. Yes,
yeah.
Gigi just finished up a clinic with Martina Navratilova. How awesome is
Nancy
that?
Bulkley. I know Nancy. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Nancy edited the Gigi Method playbook. Actually, the Gigi Method manual, which is 140 pages.
Wow.
That is now being licensed to clubs throughout the United States. So I'm super excited about that. I started a pilot program. It's starting in a couple of weeks with 4 clubs, where I train the pros and give them the drills and kind of go the whole video series for the pros and the students. So I'm very excited about that. And Nancy edited the whole thing. So hopefully your editing was good. If it was bad, if you find typos, you can blame Nancy.
All right. Well, let's get right into this, because this is all about playing big for your partner. And I've got some questions for you. Okay. So first of all, guys, I just want to thank you for being here. We put a lot of comments on. You guys are amazing. We just went over 100 people. Make sure you invite your friends to share the link with everybody. Okay, so here we go. Playing big for your partner. What ingredients do you think make up a good doubles partner? Like, what are some of the things that you look for? You're like, that's somebody I'd like to play with.
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is you want the best player possible, right? I mean, you're only as good as your partner. But if we kind of narrow it down, there's not really one quality, because it really depends on you. It depends on your strengths and weaknesses, and you always want to find somebody who complements your game. So if you have a good forehand, you want somebody with a good backhand. If you have a good serve, you want somebody with good returns. If you're a good volleyer, you want somebody with good ground strokes. If you're emotional and sort of, you know, a little bit like this, you want somebody who's stable. You know, righty-lefty combinations to me are the ideal combination, because your opponent's always getting a different ball. So that's why, you know, 4 out of the 5 best teams in the history of tennis were righty-lefty combinations. Can you name the one that wasn't?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, first let's go through the best 5 doubles teams in the history of tennis. Let's go through that first.
Teams for righty left.
4 out of 5. Wait, I'm basing it on the number of Grand Slams.
Venus and Serena.
No, yes, but they're tied with the other 2 that are righty combinations, and you're looking at one of them.
Oh, well, you were righty with
we were righty, and then Martina and Pam righty lefty, the Woodies righty lefty, the Bryan brothers righty lefty, and Fleming and McEnroe righty lefty. And actually, I threw Fleming McEnroe there, because really McEnroe and anybody was the best doubles team at the time. But if you go by number of titles Grand Slams won, the 5 of us, including Venus and Serena, have the most. And Venus and Serena and Natasha and I were the only righty combinations.
Oh my gosh! Well, you kept talking about righty lefty, so I just assumed that.
I caught you. I knew I was me. But anyway, to answer your question, like, you always want somebody complements your weaknesses. Somebody that, you know, doubles team is better than the sum of the parts, right? So 2 people together are better than each one individually. So Gigi, he called it Gigi and Natasha. That's correct, Christopher.
Man,
you were right. We were righty combination.
Guys, by the way, she just put a trivia question out. We're going to do at the end, we're going to do a fast Grand Slam trivia quiz, and we're going to give away a $100 gift certificate to Tennis Express. The first person who gets 2 questions, who's the first person to get 2 questions right, like they're the fastest on the buzzer, will win the $100 gift certificate. And we have some.
Can I answer? Can I answer?
No, but you can help me figure out who's first, because lots of times it gets controversial and people get mad at me. We're up to 120 people on, which is amazing. Keep telling your friends, share it on Facebook, Instagram. Put a TikTok video out now, guys, on this.
I'm gonna put this on Twitter or Instagram.
Ooh, she's
keep talking.
Okay. Here's the next question. Okay. So what did you like? Now we're going to get into your specific people you play with. What did you like about playing with Jana Novotna? What did you like about playing with her?
You know, she had a huge serve. She really had a great serve, and we held a lot. Like, we didn't really have many problems holding. And when you have 2 people that are always holding, it's very easy to win sets. You know, I always talk about the fact that if you never lose a set, if you never lose your serve, you never lose a match. So when you have 2 people who are consistently holding, then it's a lot of pressure on the opponents, because they got to hold. And if they don't hold, you know, 1 break is the set. So with her, it was, you know, very easy to hold. With Natasha, we struggled to hold her serve. Her serve was kind of a little bit weaker and was a little breakable. So, so I liked that about her. And her forehand, she had a huge forehand.
Natasha.
No, Novotna. You asked me about Novotna. Yeah. So I liked her serve and I liked her forehand.
Okay. Was there anything that you did? Novotna, right? If I remember correctly, she had Steffi Graf dead to rights at Wimbledon, right? To win the
right.
Final.
She was up 4-1 serving in the 3rd, and she lost.
Yeah, and she seemed like she got really nervous.
And she cried in the Duchess's arms.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that?
I do remember. I just remember I was heartbroken for her after the match. I just remember it was one of those things where it's like, oh my God, it was hard to watch. You could see she was getting super nervous. And
but then she turned it around a couple of years later. Then she went back and she won it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really liked her.
So normally she had a good serve until she was serving And the people who have been to my camps, there's a few there, will have already heard the story. But I was playing with her in the finals of Wimbledon, my first Wimbledon final. And her and I had just won the French a couple weeks before. And we were down 5-4 in the third. We were playing, I think, who the heck were we playing? Oh, we were playing Jana Novotna and Natasha Zvereva, of course, the other two. And we were down 5-4, and it was 9:20. And if anybody been to Wimbledon or watched Wimbledon, that's like cutoff time. Like at 9:20 is dark, and this before there was lights, of course. So we're just going to play one more game. It's either going to be 5-all, and we go back home, we sleep, we come back the next day, we get back on center court after the men's final, which was, anytime we got to be on center court, it was just a huge treat. All she did was hold her serve, one of the best servers in the history of tennis. Well, guess what she did at match point?
Double fault.
She double faulted at match point, and we lost a Wimbledon title on a match point. So it happens, but what ensued was really worse, because then we're putting our rackets down and she says, we have to talk. And I was like, I don't want to talk. I was devastated. She's like, no, we have to talk. And I said, fine. So we get our trophies and we go to the members enclosure over courts 3, 4, 5. For those of you who have been to Wimbledon, that little balcony that's over courts 3, 4, 5. And we're sitting there and it's pitch dark. And I'm just so upset that I didn't win my first Wimbledon title. And she says, I don't want to play with you anymore. And I was like, what? Like, we just won the French and we made the finals of Wimbledon, and you don't hold a match point. So I should be dumping you instead of you dumping me, right?
Yeah.
Well, so unbeknownst to Natasha and I, Larissa and Jana had already agreed to play with each other for the rest of the year before the final started. So as soon as the final ended, the two of them dumped the two of us, and then they started playing together. And then we started playing together about 9 months later in April. And then come around 92 final, and guess who we had to play in the finals? Like the dumpies were playing the dumpers. So that was a grudge match of the century. And we ended up winning that one 6-4, 6-1. And we actually played them in 5 out of 6 Grand Slam finals, and we never lost to them.
That is so sweet.
So don't dump your partner like that ever. Karma will get you.
Hey, this channel right here, Gigi, is pretty cool. This is Tennis Troll. I'm actually Tennis Troll. All right, this guy is really brave. He's like a strong 4-5, 5-0 player, and he puts all his matches and all his buddies' matches on YouTube, and they get like 30, 40, 50,000 views a video.
Seriously?
I
can get 1,000 people to watch my stuff on YouTube, and
gotta post more.
No, but I never put stuff. I know. I can't go there.
I know, but she's
okay. That was good question, Josh. What did Josh ask?
Where's Josh?
Is it John? Did he mean John?
John.
John. Which sides are best
for righties and lefties? What are the best?
So my theory and what you have seen in the last 20 years is the lefties are playing on the do side, right? So we have the forehand volleys in the middle, and that is ideal in this day and age. Back in the day, the Bryan brothers were the first righty-lefty combination to play with the lefty on the do side. Before, the lefty was always on the ad side. Do you know why? What do you think?
I like the lefty hooking cross court angle return. That's why I like the ad side.
But why? So why would the lefty struggle on the do side before? What do you play? You're lefty, right?
I like the ad side, and I can only speak for why I struggle. Is people serving out wide on my backhand,
correct,
and I don't feel comfortable bringing it inside out to the forehand. That way, I like to hit sweeping cross court and barely have to hit any backhand returns. That's why I personally like the ad side.
So with the old technology, wooden rackets, metal rackets, you could not get that return cross court to save your life. So anytime we played a lefty on the do side, we just serve wide all day long, and then the net person would poach and put the ball away. Like there was no way for a lefty to get that return past the net person. But with the new technology now, anybody can just flick the wrist and hit an amazing return cross court. So technology was what allowed the lefties to thrive on the do side, where they struggled in the past.
That's really interesting. You see, Gigi is like stumping me over and over again tonight. Although I think I kind of got that right. I kind of said the backhand. You
struggle with the backhand. That's where you play over there. So that's your answer. If the lefty cannot get the return that's served wide to the backhand, if they cannot be successful with that return, then they got to play the outside. But, you know, a good return there is just a lob down the line, right? If they're pulling you wide to the back, and most of the time that person is going to push forward. They're going to try to push in that ball. So just a little dump lob, you know, high ball over the backhand. The net person is a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we have 170 people on right now. This is amazing. And make sure you stick around. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in right now.
170.
Look at that. Gigi's excited. I'm going to put in Gigi's link too, because Gigi's going to be giving away, and she'll reveal a little later, a special, very big bonus if you sign up on her link tonight. And I just put in her bit.ly link. And also, if you go down to the description below this video, you can also find the link if you're struggling to find the link. So,
yeah. Do you want me to talk about it? No, not yet.
Not yet. Let's keep, because we got to keep them on, Gigi. We got to keep them on. They got to play trivia.
I love it when people ask questions. So go ahead and ask questions.
Yeah, right? Ask. You guys are doing great on the questions. She goes, somebody said, I'm excited to hear
about double strategy. Is that what we're talking about? Not really today. Well, you're going to get lots of double strategy in the bonus. I'll say that. So stick around for that. Okay, what's your next question?
Well, you kind of almost answered some of the questions. Now, one of my questions was, what makes, so maybe you can go a little further in this, what makes a doubles team break up?
Good question. Let's see, start to get into the dirt. Well, in that case, I was dumped. Another time, Zina Garrison, in 1988, I was playing with her and I was new. I hadn't won a Grand Slam yet. And she stopped playing with me because I was too emotional, which I was, but damn, she should have stuck with it, because she dumped me at Lipton and I won the US Open that year with a different partner. So people just, you know, chemistry is very important. And you have to have two players that are selfless. You know, you cannot be a selfish doubles player. You're constantly playing doubles, always to set up your partner to finish the point for you. In fact, if you haven't heard this stat, you know, all the doubles points that are playing doubles, about 60% of them end on an error. It's just on tour. 60% of points end in an error. And of the 30% or 40% points that were winners, what percentage of the points do you think were won by the net player versus the baseliner? So how many points out of 40 does a baseliner win?
Let's let them guess, because we did this the other day.
What do you guys think? We need a number between 1 and 40 that the baseliner, what percentage of points the baseliner, you know, because they have amazing ground strokes, the pros, right?
Yeah.
So they have these huge ground strokes, and no one's answering. So I'm going to tell you. So it's really, here we go. No, it's 3%. Okay. So if you are in the baseline and you have the best ground strokes in the world, you are going to win 3 out of 100 points. 75, you're way off, right? So 3 out of 100 points, you're going to win. If you have the best ground strokes in the world, you're going to win from the baseline. The other 37% of the points that are winners, the baseliner is setting up the net player to put the ball away for them. So really the mentality of a doubles player is not how do I win a point, but how do I draw the error from the opponent, which will happen 60% of the times. It's 70% at Wimbledon and faster surfaces. Or how do I set up my partner to finish the point for me? So what was your original question? Like what makes, so it's chemistry, and people break up because, you know, they start thinking they're better than their opponent or their partner rather, or, you know, something happened, you know, maybe so many things can happen. It's like a marriage, you know. Natasha and I, we had counseling. I guess you call it counseling. But we had, my coach was a psychologist, and I also traveled with a sports psychologist. So we had 2 people helping us. She just kind of went along because she had to, because I was like, you're doing this and we're going to sit here and talk about what happened. And it's kind of why we played for so long. I mean, we played for, well, it wasn't that long really. It was only 5 years, but we won 14 Grand Slams in 5 years. And then I retired. So I don't know if we had kept playing, what would have happened. But
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Think about, guys, did you just hear what she said? 14 Grand Slams in 5 years.
Yeah, that's a record.
That's a total domination, Gigi. I did not know it was like that short a time.
Yeah, we started playing at the 92 French Open and we stopped playing at the 97 US Open. and we did not play one Grand Slam in there. So I think it was 22 Grand Slams, and we won 14 out of them, something like that.
Gigi, put this on the board. 180. We're up to 180.
Woo! 180. Let's go to 180.
Okay, so Gigi, now you mentioned something, and I think a lot of players get frustrated when they hear this, and I've seen it on the court. Especially with newer players, is you talk as a coach, hey, get to the net. It's all about getting to the net. Percentages say when you go to the net, you're going to win. And then, you got your team that you just love, and they're trying so hard, and you see them come to the net time after time trying to do the right thing, and then all of a sudden, boop, there goes a lob. There goes the passing shot. There goes, and you're just like, they just cannot get rewarded for playing the right way. And they might be walking up the court going, this is total BS, because all the coaches keep telling me all these percentages about you win at the net, and I'm not winning crap at the net. What are we doing wrong as players? Why is this happening to a lot of people trying to do the right thing?
So generally speaking, if your positioning at the net is bad, you are going to get passed, and you're going to get lobbed. And this happens because, when we have players at the net, let's go this way. They're at the net, they're at the baseline, and then these players move side to side, right? And then what happens a lot is this, or we could be like this even, right? Usually one up, one back. This person likes to hit cross court and pinch the middle because they're used to covering the middle. Well, what happens is that they leave the cross court lob open, right? So the cross court lob has 6 to 8 more feet to hit into the down the line lob. Let me lift this so you can see a little bit better. So if you leave the cross court lob open, you not only, like I said, it's a high percentage, but for this person to get that ball that's going cross court, it's harder to get than when you stagger. I'm a huge proponent of staggering at the net. It eliminates middle confusion. A lot of times when players are even with each other, they don't know who gets the middle ball because they have to wait for this ball to come. And as the ball's coming, when you see the ball coming, both of you are trying to decide whose ball it is. And then if it's here, it's mine. If it's there, it's yours. And our brains don't think the same way. Sometimes I think it's yours, you think it's mine, and we crash. Or nobody goes, and the ball goes right through the middle. So we fix that by staggering. When we stagger, one person's slightly in front of the other, and it's whoever's half the ball's in is staggered forward. Now who gets the middle ball is whoever's closest to the ball always has the first right of the ball in doubles for the last 100 years and for the next 100 years. Whoever's closest to the ball has the first right of the ball. It's not your half, my half, but your half, my half. So if we're properly, if we're coming into the net fouling, I have 2 rules for coming to the net. The first one is you want to get to at least a service line for your first volley. So if you're not getting to the service line for your first volley, you should not have come in. Ideally, you come into your circle, what I call the neutral circle. We break the box in half. We break it in half again. That's neutral. If we draw a circle around ourselves, about a 6-foot circle, you should be in that circle at all times. The only time you come outside that circle is if you're anticipating a lob. So again, if you're getting lobbed, if this person staggers back, then they can cover the lobs, right? This person's getting the balls that are hit through the middle, and they're going to get the lobs. For lower levels, where the lob is more likely to come, or people are less agile, you can just kind of get to the service line. But in my view of it, the problem is twofold, like the improper positioning or not understanding the coverage of the net, number one, and also, the overhead is not the easiest shot to hit. So it's kind of going out there and practicing overheads over and over again. And then the second rule, which I forgot to mention, the first one is you get to the service line on your first volley. The second one is you want to keep your opponent in the singles court. So hold on, I gotta move this. Hit your approach shot so that you keep the opponent in the singles court. So when they're hitting this ball back, they're going to hold their ground there, and then you don't have any angles that you've opened. If you put them over here, now they're going to pinch a little bit, and now you have all this space to go in for your first volley. The wider you hit the ball, the wider it's coming back. So people get in trouble in doubles because they play the alleys. Just because they give you the alleys doesn't mean you should hit into them. It's the other thing I like to tell people. So yeah, try to play the middle as much as possible, and always have one person staggering back to protect the lob.
That is really, really good. Hey, my friend Matt from Coffee Break Tennis is on. Have you ever seen his got everybody who's watching this?
Footwork.
You have got to go to Coffee Break Tennis and watch Matt. He just made 2 amazing songs, Gigi. One about Dominic Thiem winning the U.S. Open, and one about this like love story between Roger and Rafa after Rafa won his 20th. And you've got to see it. That's all I'll say. But
we got my little helper here. He's reading the questions and telling me I have to answer.
Yeah.
John said, "What is the best position for the net player if the serve is relatively weak?" Yeah, I mean, depends on some people don't attack the net player. That's an underutilized return. If you're serving, and this person, okay, let me get these people in the right place. So that's a server, that's a service partner, that's a returner, that's a returner's partner. So if this person's serving and they have a weak serve, just return right at the service partner, attack them. Right? I don't think like it's done a lot. And you still gotta hold your ground in the middle of that circle, like maybe the back of the circle, and you can move forward as the ball comes. That's what I would recommend.
This is awesome stuff. We got 207 people on. We crossed the 200 mark, and I'm gonna put Gigi's link in. So this is her special link that if you buy on it tonight, Gigi, tell them what they're gonna get. I think now it's a great time to reveal the big reveal on what Gigi is giving away.
So I'm giving away the Gigi Method full online doubles program. It's 56 videos, I think. And the Gigi Method is 5 steps surrounded by competition and positioning. You have to know where you're standing. Court coverage, you have to know what to cover, what's yours and what's not. Then you have serve strategies to hold serve, return strategies to break the opponent's serve, and then you have shot selection. And what is high percentage shot selection? And it's based on what formation you're in and what formation your opponents are in. So you're either 2 up, 2 back, or 1 up, 1 back. And there's no other possible formation. And depending on what you are and where they are, you just have to keep doing the high percentage shot over and over again, and you'll win more matches. So I share that, and also you have 4 weeks of the Gigi Method Classroom, which is a year-long program where I go more in depth on doubles tactics and strategy, and kind of share a weekly email with more content and more fun stuff. So that's usually monthly subscription, but it's free if you guys get TennisCon.
Wow.
Which, by the way, your lineup this year is sick.
Yes.
I was like, really, oh my God, how do you get all these people to like, it's a lot of work, Peter.
It's a ton of work, but I love it, number one. Yeah. And I feel like every year I become a better coach because everybody's the best in the world at what they do. I mean, right now is a prime example. We're talking to a 17-time Grand Slam champion who won 14 of them in 5 years. I mean, and she's here coaching you all tonight. And I think she's already given some amazing coaching. And so
and also you should point out that I have been coaching recreational players since 2012, 8 years now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So because
that we weren't doing a good enough job.
Well, no. You mean the pros or the players?
You saw at clubs that like, okay, I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing the way they're coaching here, and this just isn't the way it should be going. I see a method. Correct. I see a Gigi method.
I do something, yeah. And also, what upset me the most, it was not so much the club. It was that I went to tennis conventions, like our two main. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But there's 2 main accreditation entities in the United States, and I went to their conventions, and a 4-day convention with 300. I don't know how many. 30, 40, 50 speakers, there would maybe be one person talking about doubles. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, everybody plays doubles. Everybody in the clubs is playing doubles. After you turn 40, that's when you plays doubles. So I thought there's a large segment of the population that plays tennis that is not getting served. And it's not getting the information they need. So that's why I've been sharing it. And it's been great. It's been, I had no idea how much people wanted this good information or how much people wanted this knowledge. And it's far exceeded my wildest expectations of how Gigi Fernandez tennis would do. I mean, it's crazy. I just had a camp with Martina Navratilova. I was like, oh my God, we had 16 people here in Tampa. And everybody had to test negative before they showed up. So we were all negative so we could all kind of relax But what a great experience. 10 hours on the court with the greatest doubles player in the history of tennis. And, you know, and the lunches and the dinners and the stories. And it was really special. So hopefully we'll do that again sometime.
So that was one of my questions. What was special about playing with Martina? Because you did win a Grand Slam with her as well.
I did. And what was special about it is you know that you're playing with the best player in the history of tennis as it's happening, you know? So it was actually a lot of, although I like to see you, put you back.
Oh, okay.
I feel lonely. See, I'm a doubles player.
Okay. All right, we're a team. This is the greatest.
Yeah, that's better. It's a better view. So it was like, you knew that when you're playing with Martina, that there was a lot of pressure, because if we lost, it was my fault. And if we won, it was like, well, of course you're going to win. You're playing with Martina. So, so I was just so lucky that she picked me. You know, when Pam Shriver got hurt, and Pam Shriver, Martina Navratilova, the best team in the history of tennis, male or female, they won 22 Grand Slams. The Bryan brothers have 17, and so do I have 17, but only 14 with Natasha. So the Bryan brothers are second on that list. So Pam got hurt, and she could pick anybody. You know, she's number one in the world, and she picked me, and it was like, I was very humbled, you know, by that, and it also gave me a lot of confidence, because to think that of all the players in the world, she picked me, was like, I must be good, right?
Yeah.
So from there, you know, that was my second Grand Slam that I won with her in 90. And then a year later, we went on that tear of 14 Grand Slams in 5 years.
That is awesome. So I got one more question for you before we get into the trivia, because I know that you've also got a busy.
Okay, wait. I want to answer this question.
Okay.
Do you always cover your own lobs over your head? The answer is no.
Okay.
If the lob is over this person and they cannot get it, that's this person's lob, right? Mm-hmm. So if the lob goes down the line, they cover the lob. If the lob's cross court, then you got to get it. So if the cross person, you're responsible for all the lobs, the lobs that go over you, and all the lobs that this person cannot get. Right. That's why we cannot have this person pinching the net, because then we leave the cross court open, and then we're making them go chase a cross court lob, which will be impossible to get.
Okay. One more question then, because what do you think about overheads past the service line? People trying to take a full swing. I got a story on that after you tell yours.
So it depends on the level of the player, right? I mean, to me, like, if you're hitting an overhead, if you're over here hitting an overhead, you're going to be in a positioning error. You know, on tour, it doesn't matter, because they rip it, and then with 2 steps, boom, they're back at the net. They're back in good positioning. But when amateurs hit an overhead that's deep, they're in a positioning error. So if you don't hit it good, they're going to get you with the next ball, because you're kind of slow to move back in. So sometimes it's not about the power. You know, if you're hitting an overhead from here, sometimes all you have to do is just dump it back to this baseliner deep. Like, there's 5 different kinds of overheads, right? And I won't get into everyone, but the one is that it's called the get out of trouble. Get out of trouble overhead. So if you're over here and you're hitting an overhead, you just got to get out of trouble. So just hit it back, not a lot of pace. Don't try to hit a winner. Buy yourself some time to get back in the net. There's the bouncer. You know, a lot of times people hit the overhead, they should let it bounce. If the ball is really high and really, really super high and short, you just let it bounce and take your time. You know, the higher the lob is, the faster it's dropping. Basic gravity, right? So if somebody hits a really high lob that is going to land anywhere around the service line or in, just let it bounce and take your time, and it's a lot easier to hit that.
I love that.
And then since we're talking about overheads, the last one is, you know, you don't always have to hit the overhead hard. People are like, oh, you know, they always try to hit the ball hard. If you're ever hitting an overhead and you're standing here or here, the best overhead to hit is like a short, slicey overhead, slow, like just hit like a, right, that goes this way, because usually people defend overheads their back.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're hitting it from here, just hit like a little soft cross court that they'll have to run in or run into the fence, which is really what happens in recreational tennis, because the courts aren't super wide. Like on tour, there's 10, 20 feet to run and people get them. But short angle overheads are really an effective strategy to win points on overheads.
I hope you guys are watching. Gigi's bringing it tonight. Peter, you posted a link at Gigi's link. But okay, so
oh yeah, it's good. You have my word. You have our word.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can explain that.
I'll explain. Basically, Gigi has a special link where it tracks to where if somebody decides to take us up on TennisCon, we know it came from Gigi's link. But of course, I don't have Gigi's bonuses on that webpage. Okay, it's all about TennisCon. But we basically are telling you tonight that if you buy tonight off Gigi's link, which again I'll put her link in there, and you can go in the description. Then we know that, and I'll be emailing you. I will be emailing you. Here's Gigi's bonus, and give you the link. So that's
on that link will take you to doubles.tv, which is what hosts all my doubles knowledge, and you just put your email, and then you'll have access to all those products.
That's right. That's right. Okay, last question, and I don't think many people ask about this. We're always asking about your strategy and this and that. Training with a doubles partner, how is that different than singles? What are the main drills you do? And also other things you talked about, like, counseling and psychology and all this stuff. How much goes into training with a partner?
Well, I'll tell you, I never did a drill that was 4 on a court. Like, when you clinic, when I started working at a club, you go to the club and it's always 4 on a court. And it's like, oh my God, what are we doing here? So I had to learn all that. But because when you're on tour, it's usually 2, you and your partner, sometimes 3 with your coach, right? So we would do a standard warm up where we would just hit cross court. So you would be there, I would be there, I would come up, and then we would play. Where's my other pen? We play, basically draw a line here and draw a line there, and we would play half court tennis. So she would have all this and I would have all this, right? And then we would just serve volley and play points cross court all day long. I tell people, like, I don't think I ever hit the ball down the line. I mean, I hit the ball down the line 1% of the time. Like, I would hit this shot down here. Like, I would try to hit that shot 1 time a match. Only if I thought I was going to win the point. So we would do that. I would serve, and then she would come, she would serve, and we do that on both sides, right? So we do a deuce side. I'm up, she's back, and then I'm up, she's back. And when we're doing this, you're serving a volley, hit your first volley, and then play out the point. So you have to cover all this. So you learn to cover the court, so these middle balls don't get past because you have to, if it bounces there, right, that's in. So you have to come over here to get that ball if it's coming from over there. But also teaches you to keep the ball in the middle, because if you open the angle, if you put them out here, then they can hit that shot and you're not going to get it. But if you hit it here, then you're not going to get in trouble. So that's how we practice. And then if we had our coach, then it would be this. I would be practicing from here, and then I could practice, instead of just the half, then I would have all 3 options. So I would here, the lob. And then we would just play full games or full points to 10 with one person serving and the other person serving. And that's what we did. We didn't really go out and play practice sets. Like, never really. Sometimes if we had two coaches, then we would play against our coaches. But very little set playing going on and on tour when you're practicing. You're practicing shots specifically.
Very, very good. Okay, this was amazing. We got 217 people on now. I'm about to do Grand Slam trivia, and the first 3 or 4 questions specifically have to do with Gigi. So you guys might want to get on your Wikipedia and get ready to type real fast. Matt Bradshaw, maybe help me out too, Matt, if you're out there. This gets controversial because we have to see the first comment who comes in and gets it right. So Gigi, if you could be looking out at the comments too, maybe get your special helper out there. We need as many eyes on this because it tends to fly in. First person to get it right, and you got to spell the first and last name, okay? And here's your first question. Remember, the first person to get to be first and get it right twice gets a $100 gift certificate to Tennis Express, which I will get your email and I will email it out to you. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Who did Gigi win her first Grand Slam doubles title with? Go. Who did she win?
Good one.
We're waiting on the answers. I think there's a little delay on our end because we're like looking at the special thing. Matt, keep watching. There's probably like a little delay. I still don't see any answers coming in.
A stumper.
Is it a stumper? Or is everybody on Wikipedia?
Oh, we got a couple sales. I appreciate that. The two given doing some cross-court points, not serving and volleying. With so many people, no, yeah, you can, but you don't really practicing cross-court. If you're hitting cross-court to cross-court, that's those are all wrong.
Yes,
if you're hitting
all
cross-court,
wrong.
Yeah, if you're hitting cross-court to cross-court, that's like a singles practice, right? So it's not. I wouldn't necessarily practice that. You always want a person at the net, one up, one back. I did not win it. I did not win any Grand Slams with Lisa Raymond or Pam Shriver. Not Lisa Raymond.
Yet.
You guys are about 10 years off. This was 88. No, not Lisa Raymond. Someone's going to Google it.
She wore a very famous outfit at Wimbledon, right?
No,
there it is.
Ding, 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 ding.
David Lee. Booyah. Okay.
Yeah, but she did not wear the famous outfit. That was Ann White. This is
was
Robin White. Two people, two different people. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not playing my own damn trivia
Okay,
game.
so I have to answer TTF secretary. If a middle-level player wants to get better, how would you prioritize? Tactics and strategy is what's going to make you a better doubles player, because you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours working on getting your forehand better, and hours and hours and hours and thousands of dollars making your technique better. But if you just learn how to position yourself, what's high percentage shot selection, what to cover, what not to cover, where to stand, what shots to hit, return and serve strategies, you'll play better. And that's why, I'm so a huge proponent of the Gigi Method, because it teaches you all that. And you're getting it for free if you buy tennis cards.
How much did you sell that for?
It's $29.99 a month normally.
So that's like
for a year.
That's over 300 something bucks a year.
Yeah, free for a month.
And we know that that's a great.
And then the Gigi Method alone is I think it's $57. I don't know. It changes.
The thing too, guys, all the online tennis stuff is way underpriced. If you guys haven't figured it out, I mean, when you go through the material, it's really good. It's just that's the way the game. You guys make out on these things if you really go through the material. Okay, this one people should get right away. This is kind of like a layup, especially because of our talk tonight. But you do have to spell the whole name, so that could like throw things.
Start typing.
Okay. Who did Gigi win the most Grand Slam titles with? Go. David Lee's already got one.
There's going to be a spelling issue here.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to do the first name or the nickname?
We got to do the whole name. They're
full name. No nicknames.
Yeah, no nicknames.
No nicknames.
You got to earn it. You got to work for it.
I don't know, actually, if she had a nickname. What's the nickname? I should know that.
She's sitting in the hallway. I think
we're waiting. We're waiting.
Sitting there steering.
I think there's a delay. People must know it by now. They must have typed
it. I think it's just a delay. They're all going to come like flying in.
I know. I always get nervous when they start coming in.
I'll answer another question while we wait. Let's see. Let me look at the question.
Who did Gigi win the most? Okay, no. Okay, Stan.
They're all got a million of them. Who was the first one?
It went.
Paul Lubinsky. Paul Lubinsky, 858. Kieran Murphy, 858. Guitar Service, 858. Those are all correct.
Wait. You know what?
Grace Wong, 858.
David Lee got it.
No, David Lee got Martina. Got Robin White.
No, he got the next one too. I scrolled up, and we had Megan.
Said people said Natasha. Well, he can't win twice. David, do you agree that you cannot win twice?
No, that's the thing. He's the first one to answer twice, so he gets a $100 gift card. It's the first one to get two.
Oh,
so he wins.
Got it. Way to go, David. Woohoo!
And I know David too. He's been a big supporter of online instruction, and so it's good that he won.
Good.
And
Mary Jo Fernandez, I won the gold medals with Mary Jo. No Grand Slams.
What was it like playing with Mary Jo? That was going to be another one of my trivia questions.
Oh, it was great. She was very calm, which was good for me because I was fiery, as you know. I had a bit of a temper. So yeah, it was great. She was very steady and very calming playing with Mary Jo. I loved it.
That's good. She does seem like a really nice person. I got to teach at a Stanford camp when I was like in my early 20s, and I got to take a picture with Mary Jo Fernandez.
Oh, she's sweet.
Great. Yeah.
But Steven Gershon said Steve got Robin right, but that's not how you spell her last name. It's Robin White, like the color.
Well, David Lee is one. I'm going to put Gigi's link in there one more time for you guys. It's also in the description.
You can keep chatting. I'm not in a hurry.
Oh, you're not in a hurry. You usually are. Okay, this is good.
Really, I had an hour in my agenda, my schedule.
We can keep chatting. Okay. Well, I have. Let's see if we have any more questions. Guys, do you have any more questions for Gigi as I go back to my question sheet?
What's the big difference in tennis skills between singles and doubles? Well, I mean, really in doubles, you have to have really good hands. I'm talking high level, right? If you don't have great hands, it's hard to be a great doubles player. Whereas with singles, a lot of different styles can win. You can be an attacking baseliner, you could be a defensive baseliner, you could be a pusher, you could be a all-court player, and all those can win. But if you don't have good hands, you don't have good volleys, you're probably not going to be a great doubles player.
Oh, how about this? This is from my buddy Matt. Do you think it's important for us bad-tempered people to have calm partners?
Yes, it is very important because you need that kind of mellow person. I always like to reference the elevator game. I have this game. It's called the elevator game, and when you're playing, and this also works in relationships. But if you're playing with someone, when you're going up the elevator in the emotion, meaning one person's like hyping out and kind of going crazy, then the other person has to go down the elevator. Like you cannot both be emotionally hyped up and going up the elevator at the same time. And same with the opposite. Like if you're down on yourself and you're like lethargic and kind of in the doldrums, then your partner has to go up the elevator and try to bring the emotion up. And same with relationships. Like if you're in a partnership and one person's going crazy, you cannot have two people going crazy at the same time, right? So when person's going crazy, the other one has to calm down and vice versa.
Good advice. What do you think about this? Who do you think is going to end up with the most men's singles slams?
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be Djokovic, which kills me because he's my least favorite of three. But he's 3 years younger, right? Or 2 or 3 years younger.
He's 2 or 3, not too.
Yeah, and he wins in all the surfaces. Rafa's really only going to win another French or tour, but he's not going to win. I don't think he'll win another different surface or Grand Slam. And Roger, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that Roger's going to win another Grand Slam. I don't know if hopefully he comes back.
I would love to see him come back, but yeah, it's like how many? It's laid off a long time coming back from a surgery.
But he'll play Labor Cup, so that's his event. So for sure he's going to play Labor Cup next year. Who's going to the Labor Cup?
Are they still? When are they going to
next September? They pushed it back a year.
Yeah.
So it's Boston 2021.
So what do you think about the doubles teams? I mean, aside from the Bryan brothers, and the Bryan brothers retired, like who do you like for doubles teams on the men's and the women's side right now? Is anybody you like to watch?
No, I just don't watch. Sorry, I don't know. I don't. I find it frustrating to look for doubles matches because when I watch tennis when it's on the main channels, like on Tennis Channel or on ESPN, but I don't like go on ESPN3 and watch tennis. I have 11-year-old twins, and that's a full-time job. And then I have another full-time job, right? So I'm not watching a lot of doubles. I like Babos Mladenovic in the women's side have done really well. I think they're a good team. I don't know how many Grand Slams they'll win. And I like Cabal and Farah and Cabal in the men's side. I think they complement each other really well. I did see him play a couple times, and I thought it was great that they won Wimbledon. The two Colombians to win Wimbledon, first time ever, was pretty cool.
I like Katie McNally and Coco Gauff. I
yeah,
know.
Oh no, you know, I heard that Katie was standing in the singles box.
What do you got on Katie?
Box, right? So I heard that she was doing this, standing there, and that's just so junior and high school. Like, you just don't do that. So she'll probably stop, but
Katie, don't do that. Don't do. You got a legend talking, but I can tell you that Katie's super nice. She's actually when we go to Harper's Point, she's from that club in Cincinnati where we do the master.
Oh, cool, nice.
And I got to. I know Kevin O'Neill, who's her coach, and I got to sit in the box at the Australian Open. So I was sitting with Kevin O'Neill and Coco's parents, watching them play a 3-setter at the Australian Open, and then COVID shut down everything.
Wow, bummer.
So cool.
You know, the thing with them, like, it's hard to put those two in the same breath as the other ones we've been mentioning because they have not really done anything. You know, I mean, they've won some doubles matches, but they're not. I don't think you cannot talk about them as.
I'm not putting them in the same breath. I'm talking about. I'm a fan. I'm rooting for them, and they're young.
Got it.
I'm not saying they're the best. I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. I'm keeping you honest.
I'm being honest.
Okay, good.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you because I know this will help a lot of people, and you might not have experience with this. I don't know, but a lot of people who play league tennis, you know, they have to play with different partners. This person in a town, this person. Have you had much or any success? Just all of a sudden you go to a tournament and you're like, I got to pick up a doubles partner, and you go in the tournament, you guys do great, or you do terrible. Like, have you ever done that before? Or is it always like?
Yeah, no, I played. No, I mean, not on tour, but I have done that. And actually on tour I did. I have two stories about that. Like, I was playing in. Actually, I have to tell you this funny story, and then I'll tell you a story that's not funny, but it's a good tennis story. So I was, you know, Natasha and I were, as you know, dominating in this stretch, and she was hurt. And she was maybe going to play Indian Wells or not, and we were trying to wait to see if she was going to be able to play or not. And the signups for all WTA Tour events for doubles, it closes at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So at 2 p.m. on Sunday, you have to like put your name in a little list who you want to play doubles with. So at noon, Natasha tells me she can't play. She's hurt. And you know, I was kind of hoping she would be able to. So I wasn't really looking for a partner. But now I have 2 hours to find a partner, and I go looking at the draw. And then, of course, all the good doubles players are paired up. Novotna and Lindsay and Lisa Raymond, and everybody's paired up. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to look at the singles draw and see if there's somebody in the singles draw that hasn't paired up with anybody. And when I'm going through the draw, I see this kid, Venus Williams. And this is 1993, right? Or 92 or something somewhere in that range. It was the March after she had played her first tour event, which was in October. And what, to me, the most amazing thing about one of the most amazing things about Venus and Serena is that they never played organized tennis until they showed up on tour. Like, they didn't play juniors or, you know, challengers, or they just turned pro. You know, and Venus played her very first match with officials and fans at the Virginia Simpson or Bank of the West Classic, and she won. She beat the player who was 50th in the world, and I thought, oh, that girl's gonna be good. And you know, up to then, it was a lot of hype. You know, it was like there was a lot of hype around them, but they hadn't really done anything. So I thought, let me see if she wants to play doubles with me. Now, keep in mind, I'm #1 in the world and won, you know, the last 10 Grand Slams or whatever. So I go looking for her, and I go, hey, Venus, you want to play doubles with me? She's like, no. And I'm like, really? It's like, well, do you want to think about it, or do you want to like ask your agent or your dad? And she's like, no.
Would she say no, like flat out no?
She didn't want to. And then I said, well, do you know who I am? She said yes. So she just didn't want to play with anybody other than Serena. She was just waiting for Serena to be old enough to be able to play. So I knew she was going to be good. But then a couple months later, the same thing happened. Same exact story. This time it was the Hamburg tournament. Natasha couldn't play. She ended up not playing. And the name that I found was Martina Hingis. And I had seen her play in the junior French Open final the previous year. And I knew that she was going to be good. So I asked her if she wanted to play. And we played, and we actually won the tournament. It was her first tour title of her career in single third doubles. So the thing is, like, if you have two good doubles players and they pair up, they should have success right away. Because if you understand the doubles court and you understand what ball is yours, what ball is not yours, what shots to hit so that your partner looks good and not so you're exposing your partner, then it's very easy, right? So it's just really finding the people that understand the game of doubles that will help you be successful.
Okay, so this is great. This is actually awesome. So you get Martina Hingis to play with you, who, again, amazing doubles player. And do you go, okay, cool, we're going to play together. Let's meet and let's talk strategy and all this stuff. Or you just like, hey, see you on the courts tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We're playing.
No, it was like that. See you on the court. See you in the court. She was playing singles. So we played probably, she had a singles match and then we went on and played doubles. And we kind of decided that I was going to play the outside because I was the more experienced player. So you always want the better player on. The very first decision is who's the better player. If there's a better player, you want them on the outside because that's where all the big points are going to be decided. So I took that. And then I was kind of mentoring her, like a lot. She was obviously very talented and had a lot of shots, but she sometimes would play the wrong shot. So I would help her with that or maybe cover, and with pros, what you cover is very specific. Like, so if you're here, you have to know what their strengths are. Like, do they have a better forehand on the line, forehand through the middle, or forehand angle, right? And you cover the net, taking away what you think they're going to hit, and you give them the one that's their least favorite option. So that's just like a decision that we would make. So we would say, okay, next time she has a forehand, you get the alley, I'll get the tee, right? Or next time she has a backhand, I'll get the inside out one, you'll get the cross court, or whatever it was. So you just need a little bit of help with that, and then she was on her way. I mean, she obviously one of the best doubles players in the history of tennis.
Yeah, she talk about great hands. I mean, amazing feel, right? So that's cool though. So you guys didn't really have a big meeting or anything about how we're going to play together, but it sounds like once the match started, it's like there was a good amount of communication and feedback.
Yeah, I mean, we pros communicate after every point. We're constantly communicating. And the communication is about the opponents more so than you or my partner. Like, it was more like, who are we going to play? What side are we going to, which side of that player are we going to play? Are we going to play the forehand or the backhand? It's very, very strategic, or very, a lot of thought that goes into kind of breaking down an opponent and figuring out where are their weaknesses, because everybody has weaknesses. I mean, even if they're good, there's something that's better than the other, right? So you're always constantly trying to find out. We would do our formation Australia, making him down the line if they have good cross court returns. We would serve volley or serve an approach, or do our formation, do Australian, fake and stay, fake and poach. We're constantly running plays. As you have been, I'm sure everybody's heard about Will's book of plays, right? Or his doubles playbook. I came out with the book of plays too recently. We were constantly running plays.
That is great. This has been awesome. To me, hey, guys, this is kind of almost worth.
Did we hit an hour yet? Okay, we got 2 more minutes, and then I got to go. I missed dinner. Darn it.
Okay, well, we are going to let you go.
Did we win the softball game? We lost the softball game.
Gigi lost the softball. They lost because Gigi left. I'm putting Gigi's link in. TennisCon this year is amazing. I'm going to share the screen to show people really quickly what they're getting. And Gigi, also, if you want to take off, you can. You've been amazing. And
I want to see what they're getting.
Okay, I'm going to share it. And remember, I put Gigi's link. I'm going to share the screen, which always terrifies me.
If you don't use my link, you don't get the free Gigi Method. So
if
you had the link from someone else, go again, start over, right?
Use
not work that way.
Use the Gigi link, everybody, to get the Gigi Method. It's all about Gigi. Okay, so this is basically it. To get the lifetime access pass, I'm giving away 4 bonuses. Where I'm giving away my Power Secrets video book, which you guys have access to the 24th right now, but you're going to be able to get that for life. It'll be in your member 30-day no man left behind challenge is basically I'm sending you emails like every day for 30 days so you can consume the content. And you can also send me videos of your serve, your forehand, your backhand, ask me questions. It's really, really cool. Gigi, you actually used it, that video ask thing. How cool is that?
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah. Top 10 TennisCon live streams. Gigi's part of it. We've had some great live streams with Gigi. So if you like this, you'll love seeing all these live streams we've done. And then the best of the legends. We've interviewed Laver, Newcomb, Emerson, all these amazing Jensen brothers, Brian Godfried, Rick Leach. So it's the video tips, Mark Philippoussis, awesome stuff. 20 videos.
Okay, so it's 97. Somebody asked when it went, if it was still 67, but I didn't know the answer. Somebody emailed me and they're like, oh, I didn't know it ended. So when did it end?
So when you sign up, when you first sign up, you have 30 minutes to get it at 67. Then it jumps to 97.
Got it.
So that's the way it works.
You send you an email?
What's that?
If somebody signs up again with a new email, but then they can get it for 67. That's kind of going around the system a little bit, right?
Well, no. If someone signs up with a new email on their computer, this is the deadline funnel thing made by
so
where it doesn't matter what.
It's 97. Sorry, Sarah. 97. I don't know what she's here,
but it's worth it. It's only think it's just 30 extra bucks to get all this. Take a look what you're getting. Okay, you're getting Jeff Saldenstein's Kick Bigger, which is an excellent lesson, 22 minutes long. This guy is really, really good. He's got this one thing that he calls the birthday hat, which is really an awesome little tip to get rid of the classic waiter tray. I thought it was pretty ingenious the way he did it. Tom Mensener, who's really, really good. This guy has like 170,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's just very thorough with his stuff. He's going to talk about clutch serving. We got this new instructor, Jordan, who's going to talk about how he increased his serve from, I think, like 9 miles an hour to 115 miles an hour, and he shows you how he did it. Brady, who's got a gigantic serve, like you can serve that thing halfway up the fence. He's showing you how to control your serve. These guys are really cool. Have you seen these guys, Gigi? Racket Flex? Watch them on YouTube. They do amazing videos. This guy looks just like Roger Federer when he serves. They're talking about the big science. Then I've got my slice serve presentation. That's this Monday. Then Tennis Express has their top 6 picks for rackets. That's just one day right there. I think
that's worth $97 right there.
Right there.
And then you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Top Tennis Training. Have you seen them? You probably don't know any of these people. They're amazing. These guys are really great players.
Wait, can I just say something? David Lee wants to know if I'm available for a lesson. I do camps and clinics. Go to gigifernandeztennis.com and join my mail list, or go to the camp page, and there's usually a form there to fill in. Yeah, so I also I started doing like this VIP private lessons, but I don't know. You know Ian Western, he does them, Essential Tennis.
Yeah.
He does these one-day lessons.
Yep.
So I started doing that too.
Yeah, that's
it's Ian. Yeah, he's great. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
No, you can interrupt anytime you want, champ. And this is Sam Querrey on the forehand with Brady. He did a course with Brady. This is really cool. This is about hitting heavy with Play Your Court. These guys have great chemistry. Talking about great chemistry, they have great chemistry together, making their videos. This is a new instructor who I love from England, who started his channel during quarantine. I guarantee if he keeps making videos, he's going to be huge because he's great personality, very thorough, really strong player. He talks about the return of serve, online tennis instruction, teaching you how to hit the perfect drop shot. Like it's almost embarrassing how long this is. Like it's so hard to go through everything. Low volleys, Maribon talking about offensive lobs. This is a guy from Italy talking about when and how to approach. This guy right here was Naomi Osaka's hitting partner this year at the U.S. Open. He's a baller, and it's a video on how to approach a modern way. Oh, here's one of the trivia questions. Have you heard of this guy, Ellis Ferrer? You know who he is?
I know Ellis. Yeah, he's on tour.
Yeah,
That's why I know him. Like all the ones that are here that were on tour, I know him. The other ones I don't know.
Yeah, Ellis Ferrer played with Rick Leach, won the Australian Open, lost in the finals of the U.S. Open to Max Murney and Leighton Hewitt. That's a great match. Look that up on YouTube. if you want to see how awesome Ellis Ferreira is. And what's really cool is they gave 4 videos this year at TennisCon, and Ellis was saying, hey, if I learned how to hit the ball this way, and he's showing his new technique that he hits, I would have been a much better singles player. So that's a pretty cool video. This is on the one hand, backhand. Guys, this is just Tuesday. Now we're up to Wednesday. I'm not going to go through just go to the page and look at it. And we want to
Ian's a legend, someone says. I agree. David Lee said Ian's a legend. Ian's a great guy. Well, I'll go with great guy. He's amazing. Yeah, I love his stuff. I'm a huge fan of Ian.
Yeah. So Gigi, thank you so much.
But you're a bigger legend.
Oh, thank you.
I love what you do. I love TennisCon. I mean, the fact that you put all this together for these, for people who want to learn is pretty remarkable. Such great information.
Yeah.
Congrats really again, and let's have a great week.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody have a good night. Check out Gigi's link. Be ready tomorrow, 9 a.m. That's when we kick everything off. Okay, 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.